Hi guys, this is Mark Shawson, the pattern trader here, and in this presentation I'm going to do something a little bit different, something that I've kind of never done before and likely never going to do again. And that is I'm actually going to show you the outcome of some of my own personal trades from the last couple of weeks in which I made over $1.5 million in just a few weeks, actually in just a few days. And I know that sounds incredible, but I'm actually going to show you the personal statements and the trades. And again, if you kind of detect a little irritation in my voice, it's because I am a little bit pissed off. I should be, happy and whatnot. And it's really, again, not about the money. But before I go into all of that, just by way of background, for those of you who don't know me, I started the Pattern Trader in September 2015. This was after over 3 decades of trading the financial markets personally on behalf of my own account, on behalf of high net worth accounts, on behalf of institutional accounts in which I managed for decades and did very well. In 2010, I met my now current partner, Peter, who does all my marketing for me. I met Peter online when we were kind of doing similar things. Peter had an online trading business. He met me. And I think very soon after he met me, he recognized that he couldn't trade, and he turned he turned over his business to me. And then he went into marketing, and some years later, he kind of reached out to me and said, "Mark, you have a moral obligation to kind of show people what you're doing. I've never seen anything like it." And I kind of rejected him for several years just because I didn't want the pressure of having thousands of people like losing money, calling me up and blaming me. And so I didn't know if I really wanted that. I didn't really need to do that. As I'll show you, I didn't start it for the money, certainly. But actually, after I started it turned out to be the best experience I've ever had. It's been very gratifying to meet and speak to people all over the world, and by and large, it's been a phenomenal experience. If you go to my review website, we have over 400 reviews of people telling me that I've actually changed their lives. And so that's very touching, and it's a highly gratifying experience for me. Instead of watching money balances go up and down, actually reaching out and touching people is something that has been the most gratifying experience of my life. But that being said, there are still a very small sub portion of people out there that have gone public and have links and websites accusing me of being a con man, a fraud, a scammer, etc. And Peter kind of said, "Look, you kind of owe it to yourself to put that to bed, to put that to rest." I guess just like Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, went before Congress a couple weeks ago to repair his reputation. Peter kind of reached out to me and said, "Look, you really need to do the same thing." And I said, "Look, I don't really feel like I do. I don't have anything to prove. If people like it, fine. If they don't, they can go the other way." But anyhow, he prevailed, and I'm going to show you now some of the things that I've done. Again, I'm not sure it's the right thing to do. I'm not kind of sure what the unintended consequences will be, but I will let the chips fall where they may, and I'll just peel back the curtain this one last time. So before you is a chart of the stock Tesla. Now, I always consistently maintain to people who are looking into my service that you can apply all of my trading techniques, methods, strategies in any trading market. So I just look at price patterns and price action. And these price patterns repeat no matter what the trading instrument is. I don't care if you're trading live cattle, soybeans, the pound versus the Japanese yen, or the stock market. And this is exactly what I'm going to show you right now. I detected a very bearish price pattern in the stock Tesla. The ticker symbol is TSLA. And about 9 months ago, I saw this Eve and Adam double top. I don't really want to get buried in the weeds, but this is called an Eve top just because it has multiple spikes here, and this is a single spike. But whatever you want to call it, it is a double top, and when you look back at it, it looks just like the letter M. So you have one peak, you have a retracement, you retest that, and when you come off, now you have a very prominent reversal pattern called a double top or an M top. Now, if you kind of cross that pattern, this is called the neckline. And you can see the neckline was at or near the $300 level. And for about 6 months after that double top was formed, it kind of went sideways. But every time it kind of got up here and formed this double top and triple top, I reshorted it again. And then it finally crashed through the neckline. Now, as I've taught my members, whenever you crash through an initial pattern, you usually get a retest of the pattern. And here again, we had a retest of this $300 price level and culminating again with this double top right at or near the neckline. Now, about a week ago, I noticed this pattern emerging, this double top, and it was culminated with this key reversal right here, where the stock went to about $315 and then closed right at $300. And again, a key reversal is nothing more than noticing how something closes relative to the high and low. And when the market retested that critical double top area and failed and closed on the low, it indicated that the sellers were in control and that the next direction was going to be lower. Now, I made a pretty wild bet that this thing was going to come off and come off hard and fast. And I kind of don't want to get into the details of all of that, but I bought what are called put options, which are effectively a bet that the stock was going to go lower. And the thing was, I bought put options. I bought the 290s and the 285s. Now, at that time, the time I bought it, the stock was at $305. So I was making a bet that not only was this going to fall over $20, but it was going to do so very, very quickly. Because if it didn't, even if the stock had expired, these options would expire worthless if the stock dropped and didn't come through that. So again, I don't want to get into how puts work and all of that mechanics, but I'm going to show you now the outcome of that, in which I made over $300,000 in one day betting on the decline in Tesla. And again, it was nothing more than observing very simple price patterns in the market, this double top, and then culminating with this key reversal at the $310 area, at this critical area where it retested the neckline. As I said, this is probably going to be the last time I ever do something like this. I'm already regretting it. But here is my personal account statement dated 5/15/2018. Here's the value of the account. And there you have it. And there it's my name in this institutional account. I assure you this is one of many accounts. Here is another screenshot of my account with the account value and the Tesla trades, so that you can see I had put options on the 290, the 280, the 275. Here was the date, 5/15/2018, and you can see the outstanding profits in those individual series, in which I'm going to show you and break those down individually, in which I made over $300,000 in one day, short the stock of Tesla. This is a statement from my account showing the realized gain or loss in the put options that I bought in Tesla. Now again, I don't want to get into the details. A put option is a bet that a stock is going to decline, and I was buying the 285 puts at the time the stock was at $305. And again, the expiration was such that I only had a week for this to fall more than $20 from the time I sold it. And I bought 350 of these put options. You can see that I bought them on the date at May 10th and got out of them 5 days later. Actually, most of the money was made in just one day when the put options went through the strike price and they were in the money, and I made over $300,000 in one day. Now you'll notice that the individual gains were such that this is my acquisition cost and this was my liquidation cost, and you can see it was about 400% gain on each one of those options in just a few days. Now again, options are ticking time bombs. I'm not recommending you guys try this at home, but I just wanted to show you that I eat my own cooking, that I trade exactly the things that I talk to you guys about, and I put my own personal money on the line. This is a screenshot of additional trades I bet on Tesla stock falling out of bed, in which I made over $160,000 on this particular trade in just a few days. This again is my own personal account at Merrill Lynch, which is a division of Bank of America. These are my outstanding realized gains. And again, this was the 290 put series. Remember again that the stock was trading at $305, $15 out of the money at the time I bet. And I only had a few days for this bet to pay off. Again, here was my acquisition date, the 14th. I got out one day later and made $166,000. Here again is my acquisition cost, and you can see that I made 500% more a day later on that put series, betting that Tesla was going to fall. Now, I didn't have any inside information. I don't know Elon Musk, the chairman. I was just looking at vanilla price patterns and price action that I talk to you guys about all the time. So again, this has just been a demonstration to show that this is what I've been doing for 30 years. This is why I started the Pattern Trader, to kind of share some of this thinking with you. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. I saw this double top price pattern in Tesla 9 months ago, and it's taken 9 months to develop to the point where I felt confident to make this bet. So many of you are trading, and if it doesn't work out 2 days from now or a week from now, you chuck it in and look for the next shiny object, go to your next mentor, or go to your next trading system. It doesn't work like that. You see trades and the market doesn't immediately just reward you. It takes time to develop. I was talking about a turn in the euro when the euro was at 125. I was telling my members that is the top. And it took 3-4 months of going sideways before the euro fell out of bed, and it's now trading at 117. And that's the way it works. And if you would like me to help you develop this kind of trading acumen, this type of trading thinking, these kind of strategies that maybe one day will change your life. Again, I shared with my members a pattern that I saw 3 years ago that allowed me to make $1 million in 1 week, just last week in another stock. And again, I saw that pattern 3 years ago, and it paid off just last week, so 3 years later. So again, if you're looking for instant gratification, instant profits, I'm showing ironically, profits that did happen instantly, but it took 9 months for this trade to develop and me to see it and bet on exactly what was going to happen. So again, this is probably the last time I'm going to do something like this, and well, that's it.